This one is just wild. Maino. Lots of rappers today again, friends. Lots of rappers. Maino, I think that's how you say his name. Is that how you say his name? Maino? Admits he likes to roleplay as a disobedient slave during sex with white women. This is hey, different strokes for different folks is what I say, friends. Different strokes for different folks. I just thought this was a very interesting story. And so let's jump into it with our good friend Maino, which I will admit I'm not familiar with Maino. This came up. This was trending on Twitter the other day. So I was just like, oh, let's just look at who this is. And then I read the story and I was like, well, oh, geez. I just saw this and I just kept it moving and it was just too easy to make fun of. Harriet Tubman would be pissed. I'm gonna tread lightly here. Obviously, this is some sensitive shit. But it is very, it was interesting. It was interesting. So let's see how far we can get with this, huh? Hold on, I'm looking for the thing. Did I not pull it up? Oh, I guess I didn't pull it up. Hold on. Oh, geez. It comes right up. Okay, so this is from Double XL. Do they show the? Oh yeah, so okay, here we go. This is wild shit. All right, let's jump into it. Let's rock this. It's probably quite empowering to play that role and then be able to fuck a white woman. Yo, get with it. Get with it. So many, like there has to be something empowering about that. I don't even think he has to get to that. Maino recently revealed that he has a very specific fantasy involves white women and role-playing as a runaway slave. In an interview on Angela Yee's Lip Service podcast that dropped on Tuesday, April 12th, the Brooklyn rapper and reality TV star was in the middle of a conversation about participating in certain proclivities within the bedroom when a light bulb went off in his head. That's when Maino began to explain it in explicit detail. Certain fantasy he has. Apparently, one of the things that the high hater, look, they're doing it again. It's always that. They always have to have one of their songs. It's very funny to me. Well said, awkward shrug. Apparently, one of the things the high hater spitter enjoys most about when engaging in sexual activity is playing out the role of a slave who, after being physically reprimanded by a slave owner, has sexual relations with said slave owner's wife. I like to be let's just hear it from him.
So wrong.
It's so wrong. I'm gonna tell you right now. I've never talked about this.
Ah, shit.
Dun, dun, dun.
I like to be like a runaway slave.
Okay, no.
Maino.
Oh, shit.
Oh my God.
She said, okay, no. Listen, we're not here to kink shame anybody, okay? We're not here to kink shame. People have their interests and their wants and needs, and as long as everybody's consensual in the situation, who are we to judge? Who are we to judge?
I like to play like a runaway slave.
Okay.
I like to play like a disobedient slave with a white woman.
So tell me like what you say.
Yes, master. I was sorry.
It's two of them. Like it's like me getting whooped, right?
You get whooped?
It's like I play like you whipping.
The way he's saying it is like he is very revealing something deep. Like he hasn't told a lot of people about this. And now he's telling everybody about this. His trepidation in his body language is beautiful.
But most of them don't want to play like that. This
Yeah, I was gonna say, what white woman goes along with this?
They don't want to play like that. They don't.
Okay.
This is my. It's like Listen, you're gonna act like your master's wife.
And I'm the runaway
And I
slave.
just got whooped by Massa for eyeballing
okay.
you. But the whole time you've been really, you
been eyeballing
liked
me
it. You've been
anyway.
eyeballing me.
Oh, this sounds like some freaky porn. I'm interested.
Right, this is some freaky shit. And then I'm gonna
This is freaky shit. I mean, hey, again, Samo, I agree. I agree that this is maybe a step too far. But I'm not black. I don't. Obviously, I didn't need to even say that. But obviously, this is his shit. Maybe this is his own stuff he likes to do. This is his own kink that he needs to do. I'm not here to judge. This isn't really. This is so far beyond my judgment. But I do think it's interesting. It's very interesting to me that there's someone out there who's like publicly telling people how they like to partake in this kind of sexual activity. So it's interesting to me. I understand it might not be interesting to a lot of people, but hey, this shit is fucking. This shit's wild. This shit's wild, and I'm here to embrace the strange, to embrace the outer, to the outside thinking. So I demand that Q-Tip from Tribe Called Quest pulls him aside and have a silent talk to him. I get it. I'm just being sarcastic. Like I said, I don't care that that's his thing. Well, when you start talking about Emmett Till, you're bringing up some serious shit there, trying to keep it a little lighthearted. Slave talk, lighthearted, right? Am I right? Am I right? Okay, well, that's stupid.
I'm gonna come all sweaty, right? Just finished getting whooped, and you're gonna say, "No, Billy Joe, no, Billy Joe, no." Master's not gonna like it. He's not gonna like it. That's what you know you want it, lady. This is whole script. Yeah, it's whole script.
So, I mean, there is something to it, right? There's something that he wants to get out of his system, right? This is how he's fighting oppression. One white woman at a time, okay? This is his good fight. This is his fist in the air, okay? Fucking white women. And having them do some freaky shit. I love that he's kind of normalizing it. I'm not saying play this to minors, but I think this is a good thing, actually. I mean, I honestly, whatever gets your rocks off and everyone's consenting, that is like the shit. Like go get it. And by the way, that there is a reason why there is a mature button you have to click to get into this to this stream. Just so y'all know, this is definitely rated mature. I don't pretend that I don't talk shit on here, and we go over some shit. So this is definitely not for minors. And who knows? Maybe he's going on his Kanye West Dragon Energy, hoping he can get off a mixtape in the next couple months. Hey, Dragon Energy, baby, get that retribution. Bonnie comes in with it. Oh, lordy. Okay, so reactions to Maino's description of his unique bedroom fantasy came hard and fast, with social media users mostly criticizing the rapper, implying that pretending to be a runaway slave with a white female partner is downright outlandish. One IG user wrote, he could have kept that. You basically giving them the pass to say the hard ER. Yeah, so I mean, he is saying that he wants them to call them the N word. So I can see how people could be offended by that. I thought this channel was for kids. I feel so misled. Yeah, I'm sorry, Robbie. I guess you should have your son in the next. You should take him out of the room. Next pod will have to be on Pornhub. Morby. Hey, the views that Pornhub gets, it's not a bad idea. There's a singer-songwriter called what's his name? Walker. We're gonna take a sidetrack real quick. What's his name? Is something Walker Jr. Junior country singer. Ben Hoff. Yes, Wheeler Walker Jr. So Wheeler Walker Jr. is a comedian turned entertainer who his first album, and he's a comedy writer. And I wish I could play his stuff because it's very funny. Wheeler Walker Jr. And what he did to promote his album is he went on Pornhub, and oh Jesus, we won't go on Pornhub. Wow, it's all on Pornhub. Okay, Pornhub. I wish it wasn't all Pornhub links. Hot tubes, Puss in Boots. Okay. So I guess we might have to talk about this and not actually look. Let Me Jerk. Okay. Reddit. Pornhub exclusive. So, Maxim. Topless chicks go wild for Wheeler Walker. Here's a Maxim. So what he did was he released his album, I believe, on Pornhub, and it did really well because it is pretty graphic stuff. I think a few Rammstein songs are only available. Yes, you're right. We speak OnlyFans good. Yeah, I got you. So topless chicks go wild for Wheeler Walker Jr.'s and his very NFSW video for Puss in Boots. Let me just scroll through this and make sure that there's nothing horrible in here. Yep, there is. There is topless girls in this, so we got to be careful with this one. I'll just read it for you. If you haven't heard Wheeler Walker Jr., then you should know he doesn't give two shits about anything other than writing and performing totally uncensored country music. And as you'll see in the video above, Puss in Boots, the latest release from the forthcoming album, this is anything but cliche-ridden bro country you'll hear Florida Georgia line belting on pop radio. Wheeler croons about how he likes his women topless in boots and doing honky-tonk dance. Who doesn't like that? His first album, Redneck Shit, debuted at number 9 on the Billboard charts last year, despite having no support from a record company. If you dig in the unapologetic lyrics and solid country jams to their roots, then we highly recommend picking up Redneck Shit to get acquainted with Wheeler Walker and his before his sophomore effort. Old Wheeler drops June 2nd. So he actually fucking released it on Pornhub, and it did really well. As you can see, he didn't have any, well, as you heard, he didn't have any major record label support. And so he thought outside the box since he talks about titties and stuff like that. And I gotta say, like, it's solid country. It's solid country, like old school, like Hank Williams Jr. shit. So it's solid country music. He's literally the Trick Daddy of country. And Trick Daddy is the Donald Trump of bankruptcy. So there you go. The whole circle of life, the trifecta of being successful. Titties, venereal diseases, going broke, and Donald Trump. There you go. It's all comes around. That was a bad way. Can I get? Dang, you get all the fun. Yeah, I mean, I am looking at titties right now, and one looks fake and the others look natural. Yeah, titties. I hope I didn't get a virus on the computer. Don't tell Raina I just looked at titties on our computer. Okay, guys. All right, let's go back. So, at least he could have basically. Okay, so I do want to hear what other people have to say. We really too desensitized when it comes to making slavery jokes or talking about it. Ain't shit funny, wrote another person. I mean, there's nothing funny about people being enslaved. I agree. It's interesting how people are mad about slavery. And look, I'm not trying to say you shouldn't be, but it's very interesting that people are mad about slavery in this country that happened, a long time ago, when there is a world, like there's more slavery in the world now. Like people are actual slaves. These actual slaves in this world now. They're more now than ever before in all of history. So I understand that, and of course, like again, I'm pasty here, and I understand that people have different feelings about it. I don't know what it's like to be a black person, and I don't know what it's like to carry that historical trauma. I'm just getting that out of the way so you guys don't think I'm some kind of fucking asshole, ignorant prick. But there is more slavery now in the world than ever before in history. So it's like, fuck, man. It's like we haven't gone that far, really. I mean, this country has. I would hope to think that this country has gotten further than that. But, anyways. That was a great flip that you just did on the touche, good sir. Just do the earwax test. Sorry, Raina. Literally the worst. Like one boob is fake, and she couldn't afford the other. No. Like one set of boobs. Oh, sorry. There's two ladies, and there's two sets of boobs. One set of boobs looked fake, and the other set of boobs looked natural. What if the earwax test could be used on everything? Like, if someone had COVID, if someone was racist, someone someone was transphobic, you could just stick your earwax on them if they jumped. Oh, they're transphobic. Bro, I could have went my whole life without this information. Another Instagram user stated. Yeah, so this just set us back at least 540 years. Somebody call Umar. It's 6 a.m. in the Bay. I really could have gone the day without this info. Internalized self-hate. Oh gosh. Well, see, there you go. This is sort of opening up a bigger discussion on, self-hate and such. So, that can happen. That can happen. I don't know where that comes from. I couldn't know that. I have no real connection to that. So, that's an interesting take. That's an interesting take. It's 2022, and this is what the fuck he chose as a fantasy. Jesus ain't weeping for this here. Black men just keep getting on these platforms, embarrassing themselves. I think everybody embarrasses themselves at one point or another. That's how you know the trauma is deep. Free yourself, baby. See, that's another solid point. This trauma is deep. Some things we should keep to ourselves. Maybe. But, other people have to... I'm sure other people have these kind of strange things. Have you guys ever saw that... Who is the guy... Let me look it up. It's... Because I don't think this is an uncommon kink. And the only reason why I bring that up is because... what's that movie? Is it Storytelling? Yes, by Todd Solondz. And Todd Solondz did Happiness, which is another very disturbing movie. But Storytelling is a movie, and there's a scene in the movie where, what's her name? Selma Blair. Selma Blair is getting dug out by her writing teacher. And there's a scene right before it just switches over to a whole different movie. So it's split up into two sections. It's fiction and nonfiction. And is it Leo Fitzpatrick or who is it? Selma Blair is a student in this writing course, and there's a scene where her writing teacher, who happens to be a black dude, I can't remember. This, I think, is this guy. Hold on. Is it this dude? Where he invites her over to talk about writing, and he's like, I want you to get undressed, and she does. She does whatever he tells him, and then he like has her bend over, and then he like violently fucks her, like consensually. And what he says is he tells her to say N-word, fuck me harder. And he wants her to say it over and over again, and she keeps saying it, and as he's like really digging her out, like just beating it up. And she keeps saying it. She's like, N-word, fuck me harder, N-word, fuck me harder. And yeah, that's like the whole scene. And then the very next day, they're sitting in a circle talking and reading their stories, because it's a creative writing class that he's the professor for, and she writes that story of what happens, and she's like, and there would be blood, and how did we get here? Free speech. Look, I'm just saying that, the idea is out there, is what I'm saying. And I'm not judging kinks, And by the way, this is a white guy who wrote this script. Just so y'all know, Samo got them slavery jokes on lock. Suppressing them all are very hard. Yo, where did you get that earwax test? Skip it. COVID test. I want to see if they can mail that to my house. Samo has the slavery jokes. Listen, again, I'm not trying to make light of slavery. I'm not trying to, think that, it's a horrible thing. And again, some more slaves now in real time around the world than ever in history. Not to take away from the trauma that has been experienced to the African Americans in this country, because, there's that trauma does stick through generations. So I'm not trying to make fun of that in any sense of the manner, because it's not funny. But it is it is funny that this dude went on this podcast and told these ladies and the world that this is what he's doing. Well, he's not getting any more movie roles. I don't know, maybe not. He was in The Wire and in Prison Break. I mean, he killed so she tells the story, and the teacher finally was like, yeah, I think that's a good story. Like the professor was like, because he was hard on her. He was like, this is terrible. Her writing was terrible. He shit on her, made her cry. And then after that, and he's like, yeah, I think you're onto something. So like, not only did he get his nut off and fulfill his kink, but he also helped his student achieve, authenticity. Authenticity. Whew. This was a hard one. Anyways, here's him addressing the situation.
Yo, it just hit me. It just hit me. I just realized that it is absolute freedom in not giving a fuck. It is absolute freedom in not giving a fuck what nobody think, what nobody says, what nobody has anything to say about what you got going on. Freedom in that. When you come outside, wear what you want to wear. Be with who you want to be with. Feel how you want to feel. Dance how you want to dance. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. It's freedom in not caring. It is absolute freedom. I don't want to live in shackles. I don't want to live in prison no more. I don't want to give a fuck what nobody think. When you can get to that place in your mind when you just lose all care about what people think about you, their opinion on you, their idea of what you should be or who you should be or how you should move, then you're really free. It's absolutely.
And I agree. I agree with him. And like, why should he be afraid to say that? I mean, there's a trap in this groupthink mentality, right? Like and you see that a lot with like conservative black people, conservative Mexicans. As a Mexican, I guess I have the right to speak about Mexicans, but as a Mexican, like there is a freedom. I can agree to that. Like there is a freedom of breaking that group mentality. When you see conservative Mexicans, how right now Joe Biden's approval ratings within the Mexican community are at like 28%, right? And he's supposed to be like, and he just opened up the border and just is letting people all in. You would think that Mexican Americans would be happy about that, but no, they're not, because a lot of the Mexicans that came here, including my mother, who came from Mexico, did it the right way. She's an American citizen now. She did it the right way. So, there's a lot of hardworking Mexicans in this country who look at, you know, how things are going and are sort of switching over to this conservative mentality. I mean, you got a lot of Mexicans who are conservative thinking anyways because of the deep religious roots in Catholicism and such. And you know, thank you for those flags. I appreciate that. Well, he's not yeah, the so there is, oh my gosh, Cartagena is raiding with a party too. Welcome in, Cartagena. I hope you're doing well. Cartagena, I didn't know you were streaming, buddy. I didn't know you were streaming. Hey, Cartagena streams. Everybody go give Cartagena some love. This is like, wait a second. Wait a second. Hold on. Why? Oh, I know why. Because I'm an idiot. Welcome in, Raid. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Bon Bon. Thank you, Rada. Thank you for shout outs. I appreciate that very much. You know, there's a lot of Mexican conservatives in this world, and there is judgment within that. And you know, like in this last election, Trump got a lot of the Latino votes. There was a lot, and there was more Latino votes for Trump in this last election than there was in the first time he ran. And so, you know, again, I'm not defending Trump, and I'm not giving Trump any kind of, you know, love at all, because I despise the fuck. But it does say something to this idea of breaking group mentality. And you know, I had a lot of Mexican friends and Mexican families who either was for or was not for Trump. And I was one of the people who was against, and I was talking shit to my Mexican friends. Like, how could you sell out your fucking, you know, your people like that? That's fucked up. But I mean, that was back in 2016. I was talking shit, you know. It's like, how could you sell out your fucking people like that? He just called us rapists and shit. Like, that's fucked up. And, you know, like, there's this idea that you have to think the same as the next person next to you. And if you don't, somehow you're fucking hurting the culture or going against the culture and shit. And it's like, no, I think what hurts the culture is sort of like following this group think idea into destruction. And so when I see that the Latino approval rating for Joe Byron is at 28% or whatever it is, and it's so low, there's a lot of people stepping outside of this groupthink mentality where you have to sort of follow the leader on whatever your people are doing. And that's the great thing about being an American, is that you can sort of be free to do that. And there is a freedom of breaking these group thinks, these chains. Like he was saying, there's a freedom to breaking these set rules, these imaginary rules that are put in place by people that you don't even fucking know. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, yeah, you know, there's a lot of people who think, you know, he's setting the culture back 400 or 540 years or whatever. But he's like, he don't know that fucking person. Like, he doesn't know, like, he's living his own life. And, you know, he's not going to stay in this fucking tradition of thinking, this mindset. Traditionally, Hispanics of religion and abortion have tended to be lean Republican. I know, Cartagena, but I'm only speaking on it because, you know, I'm Latino. So I'm I don't want to step too far out of bounds here is what I'm doing. But in the Black community, you know, there's a lot of conservative thinking people as well because of religion, you know. You know, like, you know, I have a lot of working at the homeless shelter. And when you're hanging out with a lot of different people of color, you know, there is still a lot of working at the homeless shelter, you know, friends, family, all these different ideas in different communities have these different ideas. And you know, because of religion, there is some certain ideas, especially for homosexuality that or abortion, like you say, because of religious ties. You know, there can be some hate that comes out of that as well. So, you know, there's this, I just don't think anybody should feel like they should have to follow the leader or follow what people or other people that, have the same pigmentation, have melanin in their skin. Because of that, they have to follow these rules that were put in place. You know what I mean? You can respect your culture. You can love the culture. You can respect who you are as a person. But to have to follow every single thing that comes into that, I think is ridiculous. And there's plenty of prejudice that runs in the Mexicans. There's plenty of prejudice that runs in Asians. There's plenty of prejudice that runs in the Black community. So it's everywhere. It's everywhere. And to think that, stepping outside those bounds is to step outside of groupthink is some sort of detriment to your culture. I think it's a detriment to your culture to sort of keep going down these roads. And I don't know. It gets sticky. I know this is getting murky, but but that's what the beautiful thing about freedom of speech and free thought is like he said. He's like, fuck what people think about me. Fuck what you think. I'm doing me. And let's watch this again. Let's just listen to this again.
It just hit me. I just realized that it is absolute freedom in not giving a fuck. It is absolute freedom in not giving a fuck what nobody think, what nobody says, when nobody has anything to say about what you got going on. Freedom in that. When you come outside, wear what you want to wear. Be with who you want to be with. Feel how you want to feel.
Man.
Dance how you want to dance. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. It's freedom in not caring. It is absolute freedom. I don't want to live in shackles. I don't want to live in prison no more. I don't want to give a fuck what nobody think. When you can get to that place in your mind when you just lose all care about what people think about you, their opinion on you, their idea of what you should be or who you should be or how you should move, then you're really free. It's absolutely. Yeah.
Again, and then look at Fat Joe. Fat Joe's over here like, yes, sir. Thank you, Fat Joe. Officially adopted this when I lost my mom a year ago, never looking back. Oh. Let's reach this point. Agreed. Felt this way since the 5th grade. I just want to play some PS5, Xbox, smoke some weed. I strive for this every day. Look at this. Now look at all this support when he's responding to how people responded to his kink. Pizza Man, thank you so much for being here, my friend. Cartagena, thank you so much for being here. Can we get a shout out for Pizza Man and for Cartagena again? Fat Joe like lean back. Oh yeah, like lean back. Yeah, that's him. Fat Joe like lean back. Right here, motherfucking Fat Joe, son. Look at this dude.
So now you know it's official. These are the greatest sneakers you've ever seen in your life.
These are the greatest sneakers you ever seen in your life. All right. Thank you, Cartagena, for the raid. I really appreciate that. Let's do this quickly, and we'll move on to our next story and cleanse our palate, shall we? Cleanse our palate. And I know that probably came out all clunky. All came out clunky and weird, but I gotta express myself sometimes. I